Okay, in order to create graphs of two variable functions, we have to use a few different tools because they're not so easy to do, right? These are going to be surfaces that give us, for a region in the xy plane, we get a specific height, and that creates a surface. One of the tools that we're going to learn to use are specifying the domain of our two variable functions. We're also going to learn how to find level curves and make contour maps of our surfaces so that we have a better idea of how to picture them. But in this video, we're going to focus specifically on the domain of two variable functions. So I just have two examples here. Let's start with f of xy equals xy over x minus y. So a couple of things to note. One, this is a function in two variables because both x and y are our independent variables. So we have two independent variables, which means it's a function in two variables. The graph, the domain will be in R2, in two variables. We have to specify something for x and something for y. And our range will just specify values of z, where z, the height of the surface over a specific domain, will be real numbers. And finally, our graph is going to live in R3, in space. All right, so now that we have discussed these ideas, let's find the domain of this function. So to find the domain, we've got to figure out, just like we did in functions of one variable, what values will ensure that we have real numbers as outputs. And so here we have to attend to the fact that we have an x minus y in the denominator, and we have to ensure that this can never be 0, because if that's 0, then z will be undefined. Our output will be undefined. And so that's going to give us our domain. So we have to make sure that x minus y is not equal to 0. That's all we have to ensure here, which means that it can never be that x and y are equal to each other. So if we try to sketch the domain of this function, the domain again will be in 2 dimensions in R2, and it can be anything in the xy plane as long as x and y are not equal to each other. So the place where x and y equal each other is the line y equals x that cuts diagonally through the origin and has a slope of 1. So we cannot, any points on that line will not give us a real output. So we can shade any other part of the plane, right? So if I shade every other part of this plane, all of these points are valid points for our domain, but we have to exclude the points along that line. So we can write this domain in set builder notation and say, okay, our domain is going to consist of points x, y. These points are in 2 dimensions such that x does not equal to y. And there is our domain. We could also think about our range, but we don't have to. In this case, the range is going to be all real numbers because our function outputs can give us all real numbers as long, when x is not equal to y, we're going to get negative numbers, we can get 0, we can get positive numbers. But right now, I'm only interested in the domain. Now, so let's make a note here. The domain for a multivariable function must say something about all of the independent variables. So we'll make that note. The domain is a statement about all of our independent variables. And it tells us the independent variables, the values that they can take so that we have a real output. All right, so let's try another example. We're not going to graph either of these two functions, just thinking particularly about the domain. All right, so this time we have the function g of xy is the square root of 4 minus x squared minus y squared. Let's find the domain, and we'll also sketch the domain. So for me, it's a little bit easier to write g of xy as z, but you don't have to. I just like to picture it better. So I'm going to rewrite this as z equals the square root of 4 minus x squared minus y squared. So that my inputs, which consist of points x, y, give me a point in the range z. And just like with one variable functions, we have to make sure that the outputs are real numbers. And so we will get real numbers here if we make sure that 4 minus x squared minus y squared is greater than or equal to 0, because we can't have a negative number inside our square root. If I move both add x squared and y squared to the other side of our inequality, we're going to have that x squared plus y squared must be less than or equal to 4. So, and x squared and plus y squared will always be a positive number, so this will also be by necessity greater than or equal to 0. If we think about the graph of our domain, we can see that x squared plus y squared less than or equal to 4 gives us the inside and the boundary of a circle with radius of 2. So if I do 2 this way, just draw some intercepts here of our domain, we're going to have a circle with a radius of 2, including the boundary. But since our domain is all the points whose sum of squares is less than or equal to 4, we know that the domain will be the inside of this circle and the boundary of the circle. So if we write our domain using set builder notation, we can specify that we need points x, y. These are in our xy plane in R2 such that 0 is less than or equal to x squared plus y squared, which is less than or equal to 4. And there's our domain that says something about every independent variable. If we think about the range, we might as well think about the range of this function. The range, if we're putting the values into our square root, right? So the range will be what values of z does this function take? And we have 4 minus x squared minus y squared. And we can think of this as the square root of 4 minus x squared plus y squared. Now, usually the way that I think about the range is thinking about the output values that we get as our domain runs through all of its possible values. So when x squared plus y squared equals 0, so when this expression is 0, the largest value that the range will give me will be the square root of 4, which is 2. So I know that z will always be smaller than or equal to 2, because the smallest value I can put in for x squared plus y squared is 0. Now, x squared plus y squared will increase up to 4, and when x squared plus y squared takes the value of 4, the square root of 4 minus 4 is 0, so the smallest value that z will take on will be 0. And so there's our range. We can also write this in set builder notation. Now our range, we're just specifying z, and z is one dimension. It's in R, it's a real number. And so our range will be values of z that are real numbers such that 0 is less than or equal to z, less than or equal to 2. And so having our domain and range for multivariable functions can give us an idea of where our surfaces live in space.